Yo, what up, dude? So I want to start this video by saying that I'm going to be talking about a specific thing that I wouldn't necessarily deem as you have to do, or you have to start implementing this in your pitching mechanics. But I'm biased because of what this has done for me in my development, how it's helped me become more efficient, be able to repeat, throw harder, like so many different things. And again, this is personal feedback. There's plenty of guys, as we know and as I talk about often in the pitching delivery, that they just do different things and they look different, right? Not everyone's going to look the same and they have success. So that's what I wanted to start this video off by saying, but we're going to dive in. Basically what I want to talk about today is something that I call like hand path simplicity, hand path connection, arm connection. I think it's all kind of relative. They're all pretty related, but it's essentially the path that your hands are taking from peak leg lift, hand separation to ball release, right? So right off the bat, you start thinking about guys, that pitch in the big leagues have success, and the path that they take with their hands all kind of looks relatively different, right? You have the Madison Bumgarners of the world, you have the Chris Sales of the world, you have, the Clemens, the Nolan Ryans of the world. And for me, like I said, I'm just going to talk basically on personal feedback and personal growth throughout this message, and you can take something from it, or you can not even bother listening to me, as hopefully not most of you do. Anyways, so what I think, or what I look for is if I'm in the front, right? So as you guys are looking at this now, and I'm pitching towards the camera, and I go peak leg lift, hand separation, what I'm thinking about, okay, is keeping these hands inside my body, right? Inside my body. So what you're gonna see as I descend and as I get into that retraction, you're gonna see my elbow, but in hopes you're not going to see the ball back here, okay? So the elbows could get into that retraction, right? Create that disassociation, if you will, and then come into ball release, retraction, launch. Okay, now again, I am biased because when I was throwing, and forget what year it was, but when I was throwing my slowest, I was a guy, and I'm not saying it's a direct correlation to specifically this dynamic, but it goes hand in hand. I was a guy that would separate and then go here and then come through like this. Okay, there's a lot of guys like that out there. You probably think of some right now, and they do pretty well for themselves. But again, for me, it's about the simplicity. It's about what is pitching, what is throwing a baseball, consistency. What is baseball in general? Consistency, right? So if we can be as consistent as possible with everything, all the moving parts, release point, if we can be consistent as possible, we're gonna set ourselves up for success, okay? The thing that I think is really important to take note of is when we are simple, okay, when our path, I'm not going to call it long or short, but when our path is simple inside our body, very few checkpoints, if you will, to get to, it's going to give us a better chance to be consistent and repeat, okay? Now, if our path is handbrake long, coming over here, coming through here, up here, boom, going to be a little bit more difficult, okay? Not saying it's not going to be able to happen, because a lot of people make it happen. We talk about athleticism all the time. That's where that foundation comes into play. But I think, being biased as I am, if we're trying to give ourselves the best possible chance to be consistent at release point on all our pitches, we need to make sure that we're doing a good job of setting ourselves up for that consistency with the way our path is. You look at guys, I've been watching a lot of Clemens and Nolan Ryan. Gosh, I love watching those guys. But it's the same thing, right? Camera's in front, our hand path, we're gonna stay inside the body, okay? We're gonna come up. The ball should be never seen back here. And I'm not gonna say never, it's a bad wordage, because like I said, it's different for everyone. Kind of the same thing from the back view, right? Handbrake, staying inside the body. You're gonna see the elbow into retraction. The ball's gonna be hidden with your body, and then you're gonna come up. There's a few things that I like if you're trying to get to this more of simplistic path. If you wanna set yourself up like against a wall, I have this huge training lab and I don't have a place to do this, but picture a wall behind me, right? You can back your butt up right against that wall and you can throw. So what's that going to tell you, right? Your hand should not hit that wall. Okay, that wall is going to be right about here. That's going to be behind your body. So if you can get it to where your back's up against the wall and you're just going boom, maybe feel that elbow hit, but then go, you know you're doing a good job, okay? Staying the hands inside the body and throwing, okay? Leg lift, separate hands inside the body, go. Consistency, repeatability. But to end the video, not everyone's gonna look like that. And those guys that don't look like that potentially could still have success, but I just wanted to give you that piece of information. And you can do with it what you please. As always, your boy's out.